Good day, everyone. I hope you're having a good time. I'm jumping in here to say some small things. I was thinking a little bit about true love. It's a huge subject, of course. Does it really exist? We can love ourselves. Well, we should love ourselves, but I think most people fail in that because we are pushed. Far too many people are pushed in one way or the other far away from self-love. And that's sad because it's like not only traditions, but it is like some type of a competition, some type of domination competition that, oh, if you love yourself, then you're egocentric. That's not true, because I think that true love starts with loving God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, as I am a Christian. But I think that true love, when it comes to the spectrum of the world, I think that it starts with yourself, because if you can't look at yourself and know for sure, and you are loving yourself and you are respecting yourself and all that, how are you going to be able to love anyone else and respect anyone else and do all those things, you know? So I think it's important. But the question is, because there is a word called love, love. The question is, what is this word? You know, does it really exist, love, or is it just how do I explain it to you? I mean, love to others, or is it some type of construction that we have to make to be able to carry through the life we are having in this world, to be able to communicate and have connections with people and all that? Is it like we are driving ourselves to love? Because I have seen and I know that there are many times a person can feel love for someone or something, and it's not true. It's just some type of made up thing. It's more survival mode, or it's mistake and misunderstanding, or something is wrong. Like there is some flow, some type of wave dysfunction, if you understand what I mean. So because one keeps looking at those people that have been together for over 50 years and one thinks, wow, I mean, these people must love each other. It's true love. The question is it true love, or is it just that they got adjusted and they understood, they knew the game, they learned the game, how to be connected and stay connected to one person and go on? And I think that this way of existing and being in a relationship, it's become, I think, very rare, because it's too much infections. If you think about it this way, I would call it emotional infections. Take that. Emotional infections. It's not a fun, nice thing, of course. And I think that a person can focus on loving one person, let's say, as we should, and we're taught, and we are the society, and many things are saying you are with one person, that's it. If you are in a sane reality and understanding of psychology and human nature. But then you have so much impressions going on. It's like some type of emotional rape, I would say. Like you get too many people, I think, get emotionally raped when they are loving with one person, and then they're like drawn into starting to like and love someone else because of looks, because of so many other things. But the situation is that it's very sad. I think it's sad because I think the older way of connecting and not being stuck in a box with one person only for the rest of the life, but I think it's a beautiful thing because it's not easy. You have to connect with one person, then you have to learn how this person functions, and teach that person how you function, and understand each other, and build a life, and build so many things. And then why break it? Why walk away from it? Why find somebody else because things maybe become hard or tough? I mean, it will be the same with the other person or worse. So I think that love is a very complicated word, and I think it changes with generations and times, and I think that it has changed a lot for today. And I think the understanding and the description and all that, like explanation of love today is different than when it was what it was before. So it's some type of colliding emotions when you watch those older people that have been with somebody for so many years, and you're like, oh, imagine that, if I could do that. And you see in interviews and many things, like you ask teenagers or you ask younger people, and you ask them, okay, what are your expectations? What are you hoping for this relation? Well, of course, that we'll stay together for the rest of our lives, and we will have this and that and all that. My grandmother, this grandfather, they did it, and we can do it. And I want to be like them, or mother, father. People are focused on what they have seen, if they have seen it, and then you have those that saw the opposite, and then they can get into disruptive relations and all that. So it's a complicated situation. It's a complicated. Love is complicated, but I think if you start with loving yourself, then I think the road to be able to be at least in a in a good and proper and healthy relation with somebody that you can build, then you have all those interruptive infective things that happen all the time. You see other people, you meet other people, you're always connected online in one way or the other. You're being like emotionally and psychologically affected, and it's not easy. You have to be very strong, and not too many people are that strong that they can avoid all those things in that way. So the question is, what is love? How do we describe love? It's a very interesting question. And I think that loving yourself, I mean, of course, first, love the religious love is very important, because you have a connection to God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, wherever you are, however your situation is. And we must also, how do you call it, admit to ourselves that although there are people all around all the time, here and there, and we can create circles and connections and all that, in one way or the other, we have only ourselves to start with and to end with, actually. Sadly, truly, sadly, happily, whatever you want to call it, but that's the truth. So that means we have to somehow love ourselves, because we are going to be with ourselves all life, And then, of course, the religious love is important, but then I'm talking about to yourself, love yourself. And then it becomes a little bit, as I said before, a big question mark. Who should you like love one person and live with this person for the rest of your life? Can you or should you expect that and ask for that from another person in this type of world where there is so much going on and so many people all the time? It's like circulating of all types of people all the time. So is it easy? Is it possible for somebody to be with one person for all their life? Should we expect it, or should we look at reality and say that, okay, let's be best friends? But then you have the other parts that you need to, how can you be best friends only with one person? No, you can't. Then you have all those, it's about relationships, and relationships are built upon, like whatever they say all over when you ask what is a relationship. Yeah, it's about faithfulness and all that. It's important, yeah, because you show that you are worthy and you are value, like giving somebody else a validation, a value, that you are connected to one person, and that's all. But I don't know, I'm thinking loudly, about this question about love, because sometimes I'm thinking that, do we expect too much one person the rest of our lives, or is it that it's possible still today, when there are so many infectious inputs all the time? I don't know. It's not an easy thing. Absolutely not. I'm thinking about it. I'll think more. You think also. And if you want to just put some comments and tell me what you think love is, because I feel that, okay, I have checked, there is a check mark. It's like love to God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. Okay. Then love to yourself. Okay. And then love someone else. Okay. Yeah. Because only because you are born. I have actually discussed this, and that was one of the reasons we became friends, me and Mahatma Gandhi's friend's son. I was the head of a newspaper, and I went to a meeting, and he was visiting Stockholm then many years ago now, but anyway. And we were inside that room, so many journalists and everyone, to talk to this man. And he had traveled around the world like over 20 times. And everybody was there to talk to him and ask him questions and all those things. And I came there, and I was sitting there, and I had dressed in Mahatma Gandhi's made cloth, because there is a special cloth that is looking like linen. It's some type of linen that Mahatma Gandhi used to make. And there are productions in India. When I stayed in India and lived in India and was in India, so I bought that and I wore that. And I was sitting there, and suddenly he said, now I think I have answered enough questions. Please leave. I would like you. And he pointed at me. You can stay and let's talk. And then we started talking, and we became very good friends, close to each other, because we discussed a lot. And one of the discussions and he said to me, yeah, maybe, did I tell you this before? I don't think so. Maybe I did. That he asked me to take over after he passed to his, his small kingdom in India. And then he had his people with him, and they were like not happy to see that and hear that. Not only that because it's a woman, but also because it's like, what? because he said that, oh, you're special, you're different. And I said to him, then you know that I cannot rule somebody else's kingdom. A special person always have their own kingdom, even if it's inside, within. And he looked at me and he laughed, Anyway, what I wanted to say, that we had a discussion when it comes to love. And we talked about it. And like, for example, if a person is born in a home and he or she does not feel the real love, and that does not feel the support and everything, but society is pushing for a rule, and that rule is you have to love this family that you're born in, no matter what. I don't know. That's not easy. That's not an easy thing, because you have to give away from yourself, because love expects some type of giving, I think. And then that means you have to give away from yourself to some people that don't respect you, maybe don't love you, treated you badly, wrongly, whatever. I don't know. So we spoke about it, and we talked about it, that the person can build their own family. It doesn't have to be like with a partner, like, the regular, now they're having children and family, but connect with people and feel connected on a deep level as human beings, as sisters and brothers, and be close to each other. That's possible. And he did that with one woman in Sweden that he felt is his daughter, and she wasn't physically like his daughter, but he felt she was his daughter. So they had a daughter, like a father-daughter relation, and that was very inspiring, very interesting. So we discussed those things, because it's not easy. It's not an easy question, First of all, that question about what is love, because love is a very, very complicated subject, and a very demanding subject in many ways, because it's like you put the words of love and then everything has to be perfect. I think love is not perfect. I think love is very complicated and has many ups and downs, and many things that you have to think about. You have to, give too much, a lot for and with, and so many things. So what I want to say is that it's not an easy subject. So, loving God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, loving yourself, okay. Then loving someone else, what are the requirements? What is the best way? What is acceptable, and what is the modern way? Modern way in the sense that is possible today. Not like, okay, you have to change your attitude. You you should have different values and all. No. You need to be a good person, and you have to find a way to connect. If you want to connect with one person, you have to find a way to connect with that person on a very respectable level, and respect the decisions you make between yourselves. But I think that one should not cheat somebody, one should not treat somebody wrongly, and one should respect the relationship that is. And if there are any problems or any issues, one should solve them and do the best to connect and be with that person as much and as long as that is possible. Well, that's a classical way in many ways, but I think it's a decent way, and I think it's a human way, and that's why it has been with us and on us in humanity for so many, like all the time we know as humans. The connection with especially one person, and dedication and loyalty and respect and all those things. So that's a good thing. So in my thoughts now about love, I think love is complicated, as I said, and I've solved two issues: the religious love, and then love to yourself. But then I'm not sure. I don't know how to construct a healthy relation in this modern world. I wish it's possible to, I think there are some people that are those super loyal and super good, and you can have a long time relationship with those people. But there are so many impressions all the time. Even if you will have the best relation, there will be people trying to disrupt it because they will be jealous, or they don't want to see it that way. They want to see it in the way they, jealousy, whatever, that, oh, those people, they're so good together. They can, you know how they are, people can be. So I think that it's something we need to think about. What is true love today? Two levels are solved, and the third level of loving someone else, how that could look like today and how it should look like. I think, as I said, it's about dedication and loyalty and respect, of course. But the question is it about longevity? Is it possible? I hope so. Well, the question of love is a deep thought, a very deep thought, and maybe it's like this. That loving yourself is some type of entry code to be able to love someone else. And I think maybe self-love has become more complicated, more rare, and more difficult today than it's never ever been. Maybe because it's too many, I don't know, influencers that are influencing a person in a negative way about themselves, that it's deflecting, taking away the road, like cutting off the connections between self-love and the person. Maybe it's something like that, because I think that, of course, first love God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, but then you have to love yourself, and that is like a roadmap, if you can think about it. First stop, and then the next stop is love yourself, the holy love, and then the next stop is loving yourself. If you cannot pass through that, it's like, if you cannot do it, make it there with self-love, I think there is a full-on stop. That's why I think it's become more complicated, because it's very hard to with self-love nowadays, and that religious love, Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit love has become, I don't know. I hope many people will make it there in that, but self-love has become like rare almost, because people are allowing themselves to be influenced too much into the anti-self-love direction, if you think about it that way. So I think it's not an easy thing, because maybe that's why many relationships are complicated. Maybe that's why I'm asking the question, is it possible to have a longevity relation as it was before? Can you reach another person if you haven't reached yourself? And that's very important. So I think it's a gateway. Loving yourself is a great gateway to be able to love somebody else. And I think that unfortunately too many people are making are failing in that, and that's why it becomes those complicated relationships and all types of breakups and all those unnecessary things. Because it is possible, if a person walks the proper and correct way, emotionally and emotionally, psychologically, and religiously, in a good way, I think it is possible, after you reach self-love, to be able to be in a proper relationship with somebody else who also have reached the same level and the same having the same roadmap and is in the same place. And that is another story altogether, because how are you going to find somebody in this world of all those impressions and all these type of people, so many people, how are you going to find one person? That's a lucky thing. That's a lucky thing, to find somebody that is in the same spot as you are, and you have reached the same spot, and then starting to, you have reached self-love, and now to connect and love each other in a respectable, loyal, and dedicated way, in so many extra things to it. So I think that is some type of answer also to today's love calculations, if you think about it. But we don't know if it's possible, because it's too much influences and too much pressure all around. Forget about the look thing, because that is a huge thing, and that's a sad thing, because it's not all about looks, because it's mainly about the depth and the deep inside. Because at the end of the day, when you don't have all the makeup and the good clothes and all those things, and you're sitting there, you need somebody to see you as more beautiful and more perfect than you are when you have all the fixings on you. And that's love. That's part of the love, I think, but as I said, one has to reach different levels to connect properly, and so it can be connected as long as possible and not disconnect, so it's possible to be together for the rest of the lives. So I think that's one way to look at it.